come up here and relax a little bit.
Have you guys ever seen a kilt at a NASCAR race before?
So bringing sarongs to NASCAR.
No. Nice.
Did you guys plan that ahead of time? Was that like, okay, you're going to wear the kilt, I'll wear the hat? I mean, how did you work this out?
I tell you what did work out, though. I took him to Toronto in minus 20 degrees Celsius filming, and then he brought me out here to this glorious sunshine. So I think I got the better deal.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. I saw your jacket looked pretty thick in that video you made, actually, while you were filming and Taken.
Yeah. So when we filmed that deal up in Toronto, like Clive said, it was freezing, absolutely cold, the coldest I've ever been. And I'm like, they're making me lay in puddles and stuff, and I'm like, I'm never doing this again ever. And now it's beautiful out here tonight, and we get to have you here. So I think I gotta come back up there when it's nicer weather. I have a little bit better experience, but I did have fun though. It was nice.
I tell you one thing about this man, though. So many actors. There are a bunch of divas that complain about every little thing. He came out in the temperatures he was filming in, and not once did he complain. He's a real trooper. He's a real hard man, and a gentleman as well. He can put a lot of the actors I work with on a daily basis to run for their money.
NASCAR makes tough guys.
We try to be. We're not as tough as we used to be about 20 years ago, but we try to be.
We'll talk a little bit about the show, because a lot of drivers in particular have done cameos on episodes of TV, movie, whatever, etc. But when NBC and Taken, they said, we want Ryan Blaney to be a part of this, from what I understand, and we're going to get to find out later on tonight, this is not a cameo. This is you actually jumping in front of bullets and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm honest with you. I don't know how much I can talk about it, to be honest with you. But no, it was a lot of fun. I think I'm in a decent amount of the episode, and we get to do some driving, some shooting. And it's really weird shooting blanks. I've never done that before with a gun. And it was a lot of fun.
This
I really,
is a family
really
show,
enjoyed
guys.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's safe to say we couldn't kill Ryan, so Ryan doesn't die in the episode. But we'd love to have him back. If we do season 3 of Taken, I think Agent Wood is a character that can travel.
So you didn't kill him off so you can bring him back to film maybe at a later date?
I think if we have to come back and do an episode, I have to do it at a NASCAR track.
Yes,
Hey,
what do you think?
Maybe here at Bristol.
Yeah. This would be the perfect place to do it, Bristol. You're in, here it is. You could be stopping somebody who's trying to steal a bunch of gold from the mountains. Don't you guys mind gold here? Maybe, or is that just a stereotype? I don't know. But I think you could do that. We could make an episode around it. Some driving.
I'm in, and right now I'm sure there's a producer out there listening that's going to make that happen. So
Scripts
talk
are
a
being
little bit.
written.
Moonshine.
Moonshine, there we go.
There it is.
There's the theme. It's the thread. It's bringing it all together. We'll talk a little bit more about the episode and working together. I know we're going to see it here in just a minute, so we can't reveal any spoilers. But seeing a driver come in to be an actor, would you ever consider actor becoming a driver?
So I'll let you into a little secret. I do all of my stunts on screen in Taken, apart from the car stuff, because in season 1, I had quite a big car stunt in a transit van, and I took the corner too quickly and smashed it into a lamppost. And since then, no one let me drive on that show.
I did not hear this before.
And then the insurance.
That's why the irony is they're letting me drive the pace car tomorrow, and I'm like, well, there's no lampposts on a NASCAR track.
Yeah.
No, are you
I have
excited
to turn
to
left
drive?
4 times.
You excited to drive the pace car?
Hopefully, if the weather holds out, I might be driving the pace car.
That's good. They might pull you from it since they heard that story of you wrecking. You're going to get a call like, hey, Clive, you can't drive the pace car.
NASCAR officials, if you're listening, disregard that. He's fine. He's a great driver. He's going to do awesome.
With all the fun meant, the stunt guys that do those stunts and what Ryan was doing in the car, it's like when you see someone skid around corners and do 360s and things, when my philosophy when I'm doing stunts for myself is I'm only taking my own safety into consideration. When you start spinning cars around, then there's lots of other people, cameramen, crew that can get hurt, and the guys that do that are incredible. And as were you, it's crazy just being able to stop a car on a dime when you're speeding at God knows what's miles per hour. And then we did it in the episode that you'll see. It's in crazy icy conditions, and we were chasing after a big Mack truck, and the ice is flying off the top of the roof. He's driving, I'm hanging out the window shooting, and you got ice hitting you at 130 kilometers an hour or something like that. It hurts.
Now, he had the worst part of the deal because he actually had to be outside the car, that cold conditions. They're like, oh no, do it again. That was great, but we're going to do it again. And he's like, yeah, this is terrible. And I'm just sitting there with the heater on. I'm like, this is great. I like my job right now.
So he had to take a couple takes. Are you a one-take wonder then? What do you think?
No, there was a lot of, hey, that was really good, but we're going to do it again. And we get that a lot in NASCAR. Like, that was a good lap, but you can do better. There's nothing worse than that. Like, that was perfect, but you're not
There's room
perfect
for
enough.
improvement
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I had a moment as we were driving. We did a night shoot, so we'd start at probably like 6 o'clock in the afternoon and finish at like 7 in the morning. And we were driving on a freeway that's been closed off, especially for us, at ridiculous, over the speed limit, firing guns out of cars, pulling skids and crazy stuff in the car. And we were driving past people going to work in the factories and things like that, and it was freezing cold. And you were like, "This is a ridiculous job." The people are allowing us to break the speed limit, to shoot guns on freeways. It was pretty special.
I couldn't imagine being somebody passing us on the opposite side of the road, seeing you hanging out of a car shooting guns. Like, there's some crazy
It's a good job we filmed it in Canada.
chase. Yeah, that's not legal here. Yeah.
I wonder how many emergency phone calls were made. Can you imagine the operator listening? What's going on?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I just saw a shootout on the highway.
Right?
Yeah.
I would definitely be making calls or at least braking.
Yeah.
Have you had anybody stop and check on set just to make sure everybody's okay, or is it?
We filmed that about 2 hours outside of Toronto in a little place called Hamilton, so it is kind of desolate out there as well. So that was what's lucky.
Hamilton.
We have some people from Hamilton out here.
Oh, wow.
I heard
That's
a little bit of.
Hamilton, Ontario.
Hey, what? Wow, that's really awesome, man. Very cool. We have fans. Literally, people come from to Bristol from all over the world, multiple countries, etc. And speaking of multiple countries, obviously, you have a lovely accent.
Very
And
charming.
We were talking earlier. We've actually had Ryan Blaney on the show before do some accents, and we were hoping today we could maybe have an American accent from you and then a English accent from Ryan.
I'll let you go first on that one.
Yeah,
He
your
has an
character in
American
Taken
accent on the show.
has an
I
American.
know I'm in
accent.
Tennessee. They say y'all have been so great to me. Y'all go people.
Yeah?
It's
Y'all?
hard-
That was pretty
It's hard doing accents. You never know if you're being offensive or not. Like, if you're going over the line. Like, when I do my English accent, I'm probably going to feel like I'm offending you.
You wouldn't
Like,
offend me.
cheerio, we have tea and stuff, and we're just going to go down to the Louvre and have a piss.
I think that was pretty good. What do you guys think?
yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what'd you give him, Clive?
I give him an 8.
A good 8.
Good. I'll take
Good
an 8.
All right.
Take an 8.
Now, how long did it take you to perfect the American accent then?
I don't know. I think the difference between us is in Britain, we're a small island and we watch all of your amazing TV shows and stuff. I've been watching American shows since I was 4, and that's it seems to be the accent you hear more than anything. Whereas I suppose you guys don't necessarily grow up before watching Downton Abbey.
Well, we
So
got
that's why it's a
BBC.
little bit it's the opposite way around. It's a lot of the guys I work with in Vikings that are from Sweden and Denmark, they actually speak English in an American accent because that's all they hear is over in Sweden and Denmark. They hear all the American shows. So I think that's why a lot of us Brits kind of steal Americans' jobs playing Americans.
Well, I grew up watching Monty Python, so that's ingrained that English accent into me.
That's a very old English accent.
Yes, it is. You're right. Well, I want to hear more about the relationship that you guys had in acting. I know that a lot of times with the cameo role, it's kind of fly in, fly out, but it sounds like this was a lot more in depth than that. Did you guys do anything else fun together while you were hanging out on set?
Well, I was there for 2 days, and it was hard to really do anything because, like Clive said, we would start shooting it about 6 p.m. at night, and we'd go to 6 or 7 in the morning, and then you just sleep all day, pretty much, and you go back at night. You couldn't go out to go to dinner or go to a bar or nothing like that. You were literally sleeping all day, and then it's time to get up and drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to location.
So we got really close because it was so cold. We were like this.
Yeah.
It was the weather.
This tent, they had a little heater in. Everyone is crammed in it, and you became awful friendly with people you don't really know very fast, which is fine. It's good.
This is why they're
Anything
so nice
for
in
survival.
Canada. Yeah, that's why they're so nice in Canada. Because of the
That's
cold.
true. They're going to huddle around the fire in Canada. That's probably a good theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why they're all nice in Canada.
Very kind people. Are you working on anything else right now, Clive?
I just wrapped on a film yesterday, so I had sideburns down to here and a big crazy curly perm wig doing a heist film in the 70s. It's a big mob film that's going to be coming out probably early next year. So I was filming that down in Rhode Island, so I flew up from Rhode Island, did the last 2 days in LA, and flew here late last night.
You could have left the sideburns and everything because, did you see Ryan's hair this time last year? Actually, it was a little later after this.
My hair at the show was pretty long. I didn't have a mustache yet.
Oh, this was pretty crazy. I look more like John C. Reilly in Talladega Nights.
Yeah, nice.
Perfect. Well, I got to ask a question. This is Bristol Motor Speedway, and we like to say it's Bristol, baby. It's an awesome track. So do you have anything in store for Clive? Anything special you're going to show him, or maybe an opportunity for him to get involved in the track?
Well, I was upset I didn't get a start on the front row because he was driving the pace car, and I was going to shove him around a little bit. But I might do that regardless. I might be able to get up there. But no, it's a cool.
No way you start, it's where you finish, right?
That's right.
Right.
Ah, there you go. But no, it's a cool place. There's a lot to do around here. There's a movie theater down the road, and there's some cool places. There's a trampoline park I saw, which is kind of cool. There's a batting cages, and there's a cool racetrack. And there's a lot of alcohol to drink around here, too. I've seen that going on.
I think they know about it.
Dilly.
Clive, I'm just going to tell you this right now. If somebody passes you a clear mason jar, it's bad manners to not take a sip before you pass it on. I'm just saying that right now.
Have you had moonshine yet?
I've had moonshine.
Have you had?
Yeah, I haven't had moonshine here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
Ouch.
Clive's car is now full of brown paper bags.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be really disappointed about that one.
Well, we're really excited. We're almost there. We're going to get a chance to see Taken. Again, it's April 20th, Friday night, 9 p.m. on NBC. But you fans are going to get to watch the full episode right here, right after NASCAR Trackside Live. Any little spoilers, tips, hints you want to share with the fans before we get a chance to watch this episode?
Well, it's coming right up, but it's Brian Mills finds himself chasing after some arms dealers that are doing a big transaction abroad in New York, and somebody gets in the way from his past, and he needs to have a driver. He needs to get a combat driver, and this is how our two characters meet.
Yeah. He needs a driver, and I fulfill those services hopefully adequately. So, no, it should be good. Like I said, I don't die, which is good. And
Always good. Does
but there are some really exciting scenes. It was really cool to be a part of these cool action scenes, from the driving to shooting and chasing bad guys. That was really, really cool. And then just hanging out on set and seeing everybody act and do their thing. I thought that was really cool, how they all kind of, the film and TV industry always, I compare it to racing a lot, which is kind of weird, but you never really realize how much goes on behind the scenes, of how much prep work it takes for actors and everybody in the crew and things like that. And racing, you just see kind of the finished product of the car on the track. You don't realize how many people it takes to actually get it there. And, TV, you just see the show or the movie, and you don't really realize how much effort it takes to make it happen. And that was really cool for me to see. It was a cool comparison, I thought, to what we do.